Hello crafty friends, welcome to another video. Today I thought we would look at Distress Oxides in green, another secondary colour. I did primary colours in the first video, orange in the second video, and this is the third video with green. We'll do purples in the next video. But the two greens that I have are Lucky Clover and Cracked Pistachio. The Lucky Clover is brighter or more saturated. The Cracked Pistachio is a lighter, more pastel. Just load up my brush here and blend on the Cracked Pistachio. I really love this colour. It's sort of minty green. Reminds me of mint choc chip ice cream. Interestingly, Lucky Clover is probably my least favourite of all the Distress Oxide colours that I have. I'm not really big on green greens. I'm more of a greeny blue or a bluey green girl. So we will come to those in a future video. But it's useful to have a bright and a pastel in each colour, I think. So we can get a nice blend there between the two just by going over that area. I'm just going to put a bit of washi tape on my fingers to stop me getting green fingers and to stop me getting fingerprints in my green ink. So that's two green greens. This green is Bundled Sage, and when I want a really natural, leafy, grassy type green, I tend to reach for this one. It's got a bit more yellow in it than blue, I think, so it's a yellowy green, and it's quite pastel, so it makes a nice backdrop to flowers. I often die cut leaves from card that I've coloured with Bundled Sage. Because it's pastel-y, it disappears into the background. It can provide a nice bit of greenery for colourful flowers to sit on, but it's not too in your face. I think Lucky Clover can be a bit in your face for that kind of thing. And all these colours that I'm showing you in this little series are really just my choice. There is a massive range of colours in Distress Oxides and in other ink ranges. So you just have to buy some and see which ones work for you. So I think I'll do a little bit of smooshing with these three greens. So we'll start with Lucky Clover. Add liquid to this to make it into a paint using a DIY shimmer spray. This has got white pearl pigment powder in it. And I'll pick it up with my smoosher and smoosh it on. So when it dries, it should have a nice shimmery effect. I quite like smooshing with Lucky Clover because it lightens up a bit. I'll give that a dry. So you can see how the Lucky Clover is actually more Cracked Pistachio when you dilute it with water. Now I'll smoosh with some Bundled Sage. Again, I'll use the shimmer spray. And smooshing greens like this is a really nice way of creating cardstock to cut leaves from because it has a nice variation on it. And now for the Cracked Pistachio. Sometimes you want to die cut from solid coloured cardstock and sometimes you want variation. So smooshing is a great way to get that. There's a lovely delicate shimmer to that, but I'm just going to add a little bit more by spraying on here and then drying it. So that is lovely now. So I've actually got one more bit of mixed media paper that I cut for this morning's video, so I thought I would maybe do some painting with Distress Oxides, just put some blobs on a bit of card. So I put Lucky Clover on my mat, I've just mixed it with some water, and I'll pick it up with my paintbrush and paint it on the card. I'm going to go in a diagonal. I'll just add a few spatters, and now we'll do the Bundled Sage. Try and get that to blend in a bit. Now add a few spatters either side of that. And now for the Cracked Pistachio. I might want to add a bit more Lucky Clover. Let's get some of that. And I'll just sort of add some of the colours in different places. When you add water to some of these distress oxides, excuse the bird in the background, it's been very noisy this morning. When you add water to the distress oxide, some of the, say, secondary colours separate out a bit. So if you look closely at the bundled sage and the lucky clover, you can see some blues in the lucky clover and some yellows in the bundled sage. Goodness me, the crows are at it as well. So you can get some nice variation in colour by adding water to inks. So I know it's a really obvious thing to do with green, but I'm going to cut some leaves. I'm going to cut them from white though and put them on the green. Before adding my leaves to my background, I want to back them with vellum because these have got little holes in and I think they'd look nice with a bit of vellum. I'll add some high-tack white glue to the back using my glue dotter. If you want to know how to make a glue dotter, I do have a video linked below. So I'll take some non-stick paper, this is just some leftover sticker release paper, and give those a good press down, and then I'll cut around them. My leaves are ready, but I want to jazz up my background a little bit, so I've got bundled sage and a chain link fence type rubber stamp. Just going to add that in 3 places. Just adds a little bit of something. And for shimmer and shine, I'm going to spatter on some gold metallic watercolour and I'll dry that. So my plan is to cut from this using a stitched rectangle die, but after I've put my leaves on, because I want the stitching to capture the leaves. To add glue to this, I'm just going to carefully use my stylus to put glue on the back of the vellum, but in places where it's not going to show through. Again, I'll give that a good press down with some non-stick paper. Now I'll line up my die on there and die cut that. Right, I popped that on a card blank and added a happy birthday in black down there. So we've got a leafy themed card, but the background is green and the leaves are white and translucent. For my next card, I've got this leafy rubber stamp here, and I've inked the top up with a lucky clover and the bottom with cracked pistachio. And I think I'll try and get a bit of bundled sage in the middle, and to help the ink move a little bit, I'm going to give it a light misting with water. And now I'll take this is the lucky clover and cracked pistachio, place that on top. Should I do it the other way with the cracked pistachio at the top and the lucky clover at the bottom? Yes, let's try that and see what it looks like. Just put some scrap paper over it and give it a good press down. There we go, that's quite interesting. Let's dry that. I've got some tag dies here. I'm going to cut some partial large tags and some full small tags. So now I'm going to add these tags to the front of a card blank, just coming in from the side. I'm using high-tack white glue to stick them down. So I'm going to chop off the overhang to see how it's looking. So I'm liking that. I'm going to take the 2 smaller tags and place them here and here. So there's this empty space here, which is about 1/3 of the way up and 1/3 of the way in. I've got a spare vellum white leaf die cut left over from the first card, so I'm going to add that, and I'll add it there over that intersection point. So I've actually cut another one of that leaf from some gold paper, and I'm going to add it on top and have the white as a bit of a drop shadow. I'm not going to put vellum behind it because that's not really going to add anything now. For my sentiment, I've got a happy birthday, and I'm going to have it here, about 1/3 of the way up, but on this intersection here. And to support it, I've got a couple of bits of card that can go under that end. And I've used my little circle punch, this one here, it's a Fiskars punch, to punch out some gold circles. And I'll add those with my wax tip picker-upper. That's card number 2, very happy with that. For card number 3, I'm going to cut out some stitched circles. I've got 3 different sizes here, and I want to add some texture to my circles in the form of stamped leafy impressions, but I don't want it to be too bold, so I'm going to use bundled sage. These stamps are just leafy, branchy stamps from my hodgepodge stamp sets. You can do the stamping before you do the die cutting, but I like to do it this way around much of the time because it allows me to get exactly the patterns that I want. And I'm also going to go around the edges with some bundled sage just to give them some extra definition, and it will bring out the stitching detail as well. Could use the lucky clover if you wanted a bit more punch. My card blank is smooth white card just because that's what I had to hand. And I'm just using same old high-tack PVA glue, high-tack white glue to stick my circles down straight on the card blank, overlapping them. Right, I'm going to add an embellishment now, and I've die cut this piece of foliage, a leafy branchy thing, out of black glitter cardstock because it's really going to pop on there. And for my sentiment, I've got this with gratitude. It's heat embossed in a platinum embossing powder on black paper and cut out with a stitched rectangle die. I made this quite a while ago for a previous video and put it in my stash. So that's going to go in the middle a third of the way up. It's on a bit of craft foam so it's got some dimension. And now a few sprinkles of extra black glittery dots. I'll add some crystal glaze to the dots to give them a glossy domed appearance. And there are also a few circular elements on this die cut, so I've put crystal glaze on them too. And I think that will do nicely. All I've got left is this bit of bundled sage coloured cardstock. I'm going to put that in my box of backgrounds and bits for use at a later date. So that's 3 cards made with my green distress oxide. I hope you found the video helpful and it's given you some ideas. Do come back for the next video in the series because we'll be looking at purple. Right, thanks for watching. Bye for now.